This is the mission trial run in Shadowrun Dragonfall, the Director's Cut, the standalone expansion to Shadowrun Returns. Here we're going to be looking at some non-combat gameplay options in this mission. Some of the backstory on this mission is that it's part of a test to join a secretive organization and do work for them to make money as part of advancing the main campaign. Here I'm pretending to be a maintenance worker to infiltrate this apartment complex / corporate compound. The first guy I run into is this sort of private security thug. There's a lot of these guys in Shadowrun. They are primarily hired by the corporations and they're your primary resistance. Up ahead, I'm going to run into the first member of my team that I do not know. That was part of the conditions for accepting the assignment was I had to work with their team. Unlike most missions in Dragonfall, you do not get to pick your own team. Normally you can select from your own NPCs that work with you all the time, or some hired mercenaries. As you can see by the dialogue, she's clearly not an experienced Shadowrunner. For what purpose the organization had her help them, I don't know. She was probably blackmailed. There's a lot of moral gray area with regards to Shadowruns. Usually you're stealing from someone to benefit someone else. Most of the characters in this universe don't seem to have a problem with it. Right up in front of me you see the sign U-Bahn. That is the primary transit system in the Berlin setting. You use this to travel to all your missions, and on occasion there can be actual gameplay that takes place at the U-Bahn. So let's just take a look around this place. It's always a good idea to check around before you do anything too crazy. You'll find interactive items, usually shown by a magnifying glass. That's the entrance. Over to the left of the building, I see a ladder fire escape here. It doesn't seem like I can do anything with it. Maybe I'll be able to use it as an escape later. Doesn't look like there's very much up here on the north side. Let's go ahead and take a look at my character before we go in. I have an elf specializing in charisma and quickness. I use submachine guns primarily, but I also carry a variety of other weapons and some spells to augment my weapons. I also have summoning capability. On the left you can see my etiquettes are in security, Shadowrunner, and academic. You can use those to bypass certain dialogue checks or to open up other options as far as gameplay. They'll either grant you extra bonuses or grant you different ways to accomplish tasks. So let's go ahead and go inside. It looks like there's nothing more out here. This is the rest of my team of quote-unquote maintenance workers. They seem to be very abrasive. This unknown elf doesn't seem to talk very much. James is particularly abrasive. Now you can see a dialogue check based on the actual race selection. Unlike a lot of other games where actual race selection does make a difference. If I had an etiquette here, I would probably open up some other dialogue options, but in this case my particular etiquettes don't seem to apply, so my racial check didn't actually help me in this particular case. This shows just a lot of the nice writing in Dragonfall. You'll have the descriptive text in the brackets, followed by a lot of direct to-the-point dialogue that also manages to convey each character's personality in just a few sentences. A lot of games are overly verbose. Shadowrun manages to do a lot with a little bit of dialogue. Well, it looks like they're done talking now, so let's go ahead and dig into this complex and see what we can find. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot here in the lobby anyway. A troll wandering around on the left. Go ahead and save my game. It's a good place. Looks as though there's some shops around here, but nothing at this particular kiosk is interesting, so let's move on. Jana's offering me the option here. She wants to electrocute this box by overcharging it, and it would take out some of the security guards that are up ahead. This seems a little extreme to do right now, so I'm going to go survey my other options, and then maybe we'll come back to this later. Having all these vendors here on a Shadowrun is kind of unusual in Dragonfall, so it's worth checking them all out and seeing what they have. This looks like to be a sort of plot balancing item. If you were coming in here with a combat-oriented character who was weak in charisma, you could buy this suit and boost yourself up to help you through the non-combat sections. But I already have a pretty good charisma, as you can see. This is the particular box Jana mentioned that we could overcharge, and the guard who would be knocked out. A lot of these high society corporate types are looking down on us lowly janitors. James puts his foot in his mouth, so I have to smooth it over with charisma. A character with low charisma might not be able to do that. This looks like a security guard, and he's probably not going to be happy to see me. I could start combat right now and fight my way through up to the upper levels, but I'm going to keep exploring around. I will do that if I have to, as my character can handle combat, but there should be something around here I can do to get past them. Looks like there's some more stores in here. Since I'm on a mission map, I might not get a chance to buy these particular items again, so I'm going to take a look at what they have. That's important to keep in mind in both the Shadowrun games. Usually you don't get a second crack at particular mission maps. Looks like they have some cyber enhancements I could buy here, so it's pretty cheap. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Even though my character doesn't use that particular type of item very much, I might be able to find a use for it later. Couple of shoppers here in the store. This dialogue just to be some background building, world building, story information that'll help you understand the setting more. There's a lot of choose your own moral standing in the world here. Perhaps with a few different etiquettes. I have a lot of corporate and security oriented etiquettes, but if I had an etiquette that might help me bypass these conversation checks, perhaps I could convince them to help me get up to the upper levels, or maybe access to their room upstairs. But since I don't seem to have any of those skills, there's no interesting dialogue options here. I just go ahead and tell him I like the world as a dog-eat-dog place. I'm a Shadowrunner, that sort of makes sense, I guess. We still haven't gained access to the elevator. We found a few options for dealing with the guards at any rate. We can either attack them or electrocute the one over here by the door. Let's go talk to this guy. I haven't chatted with him yet. Obviously, I want inside. James shoots his mouth off. I can smooth it over with my high charisma. And my etiquette and security grants me the option of learning some more about how their security is handled at this building. So let's see if I can exploit that in some way. This is the assistance code that I learned from him. Hopefully I can use that to get access to the elevator. There doesn't seem to be too many options here, so I'm going to go check with the security guard back in the room. This gets him to run off right away. He needs to go check with his partner over at the other door. So this gives me free access to the terminal. With this, I can tell the security system that the threats are coming from somewhere else. So the area I'm going to be checking out on the upper levels will be less secure and more accessible when I eventually do get up there. But I still haven't gained access yet. So let's go ahead and see what our security guards are up to. They ran off to deal with something. So here they are at the door, and they're both there. This looks like a great time for Jana to come in and electrocute them. And that took them both down instantly. Now I have the key card. Let's go ahead and check what's inside this door. Another computer terminal here. And this is another place where my team comes in. Jana will be opening the elevator door, so this is great. I was able to get access to this security room, get access to the power room, all without firing a shot, and took down 2 security officers in the process. Now we're going to go ahead and head up to the upper levels and finish off the rest of this mission. Thanks for watching.